Good morning, 25th of June. Welcome to the Tuesday Chew. Good morning, Matthew.
Good morning, Roy, and welcome back.
Well, thank you very much. We're going to look at news from last week, some lessons learned, how to succeed podcast, great podcast this time. Questions from listeners, viewers. Some free resources. We're giving stuff away again.
Love it.
We're going to talk about a book Matthew's been reading again, and then we're going to go to the world famous talking pants. So, Matthew.
Yes, Roy.
I'm back from Baltimore.
You are back from Baltimore.
It's a real pleasure.
Absolutely, it's a pleasure to have you back.
Yes.
He said with absolute sincerity.
Yes. Great session. Sandler insists that we get trained continually. I went to the conference, 33 sessions I attended over 4 days. A lot of stuff going on there. So many favourites to talk about. The first 5 minutes of a sales call, selling to HR buyers, I love that one. The purpose-driven sales professional, fabulous session. So very, very good. Feeling a bit jet-lagged.
Oh, that's a shame. It's 28 hours on a plane, on and off planes. That not really your cup of tea?
No.
Has your bag caught up with you yet?
No, the bag still hasn't turned up yet.
Okay, yeah. No.
Five airports. Airports. And,
you can imagine he's in a very good mood today.
Yes, I am. So anyway, did you enjoy the mastery? You was without me. You did your first mastery this last week. How did that go?
Do you know what? I really enjoyed it. So it's a very valuable session. Really enjoyed it.
Comfortable?
Yeah, really comfortable. That's
yeah,
great.
yeah.
It's
Yeah,
good.
I heard about it. He was drinking out of my mug. My mug.
So who's the rat?
LinkedIn.
Ah.
But the thing is, I couldn't have you not having a mug of your own. So I've bought you a mug that will enhance your stature.
Okay.
It's a present from me to you.
Okay, beautifully wrapped.
Yeah.
It's small enough to be in your hand luggage, which is worrying.
Yes.
Okay. That's huge. It's massive. It's
It's perfect for you. And look, it's personalised. M. It's got M for Matthew. How cool is that?
It says Maryland on the side.
It's a present for Matthew from Maryland.
Yeah.
It's awesome, and I've got a tea bag for you as well. So if you ever want a cup of tea again while I'm away, there's a mug for you. I've even provided the tea bag.
Okay. It kind of feels like the only mug here is me, but there you go.
Okay.
But thank you for that. That's very thoughtful.
I'm always thinking of you.
Please don't.
Lessons learned.
We had a really good mastery session this morning, and Karen Coleman came up with a great lesson learned this morning. We were talking about 30-second commercials, how to articulate your value proposition in less than 30 seconds. And she said, keep on practicing it, keep on finessing it. I love that phrase. It was great. Keep finessing it, make it more natural, make it more yourself. I thought it was really good. Great takeaway.
It was great, and one of the takeaways I got from Baltimore last week was professionals practice in private, amateurs practice on the job, and that really hit home. So today we had a room full of professionals practicing their 30-second commercial, making all their mistakes in private, so they don't go and screw it up in front of customers. On to the How to Succeed podcast. This week's How to Succeed podcast is all about personalising your pitch. Greg Skloot, president of Crystal, and Crystal actually look at someone's LinkedIn profile and can tell you what their DISC profile is before you meet them. It allows you to have the best possible conversation without having to learn what these people are really like. It's a fantastic podcast. Sandler are now a partner of Crystal. So if you want to talk more about Crystal, just message below, tell you more about it. It's an amazing product that actually speeds up the bonding and report section of what we do.
And along with that, if you just want to know more about disc profiles generally, if you've never come across the concept of a disc profile, again, just give us a message below. Be really happy to have a conversation with you and explain how that can potentially benefit the way in which you interact with your customers. And indeed, as we discovered this morning, even members of your own family can be very useful.
Indeed. So how do they get hold of the How to Succeed podcast?
Do you know what? I think we'll put a link down below.
Okay. So we had a question. Another question came flooding in. Should I quote every RFP, that's request for proposal? Should I quote every RFP that lands on my doorstep? Matthew, opinions?
No. Sorry, do you want more than that?
A little bit more than that.
Okay, yeah, no, definitely not. Typically what we see with RFPs, ITTs, invitation to tender, any kind of request of that nature, it's because they have some form of box ticking exercise going on. It might well be that they have to get 3 quotes. We see that a lot. I'm sure most of you will have seen that in your business as well. That's what we always say, if the RFP, the way it's been phrased, does not have your fingerprints all over it, it's probably not yours. And what we mean by that is if it's not in your phraseology, if it's not actually geared around what you offer, chances are it's not yours.
And if it's the first time you've ever come across this quote, it's definitely not you. You're just justifying someone else's price. Give it a wide berth. Thank you, Matthew. So free resources. We've got some free stuff we're giving away again. We've got 7 questions to ask yourself when interviewing recent grads. It's a great white paper. Again, giving this away. Where would we find that, Matthew?
We'll find that on a link
Down below. Books you've been reading again. You've been reading. So you've been reading.
Voracious reader.
Yes, Prospect the Sandler Way.
Yep.
As we look at it, most problems in a sales environment stem from lack of prospecting. When you hear people say not enough money to invest, or they're having to discount too much, or they don't disqualify fast enough, they don't prospect enough. Yeah. Tell me about this book.
Yeah, so this is a book by John Rosso, who is an extremely well recognised and known Sandler trainer. This is actually one of my favourite Sandler books, which, given the fact that I've been reading nothing but Sandler books recently, puts it pretty much to the top of the pile of my favourite business books of all time. This is like the absolute introduction to the Sandler selling system. It talks you through how to get your head on straight so that you actually deal with the biggest thing, which is avoiding prospecting calls, because nobody likes it. The only people who enjoy prospecting calls, 2 types of people: sales directors who no longer have to do it, and people who have never done it.
So where can they get a free chapter of this?
Well, you know what? There is a free chapter available, so you can get a taster of it, and I think we can post a link down below.
Lovely.
Down below.
Lovely. Talking Pants. Today's Talking Pants is when prospects say to you, it's all about price. It's all about price. They say, if you can get below this price, we may consider you.
Sharpen your pencil.
Sharpen your pencil. Yeah. Or your competitors at this price, can you beat it? Our basic rules is it's never
about price.
It's never about price. You have to find pain. If you can find pain, price becomes irrelevant. And the Sandler rule is there's no pain,
there's no sale.
No sale. So again, if you try and win on price, eventually you're going to lose it on price. So how do you do this? How do you find pain? How do you stop discounting? How do you stop undercutting people's prices? Something's going on the 16th and 17th of July. Tell me about that.
Do you know what? On the 16th and 17th of July, we're running a 2-day Sales Foundations boot camp, which will give you all of the details you need to introduce you to this new way of working, this way of finding pain, asking better questions, and uncovering what your clients or potential clients really need, and also introduce you to the concept that it's never about price.
So if someone says it's all about price, what are they doing?
I guess they're talking pants.
Very good.
Never gets old.
It never gets old. So just like a little chink, just cheers.
Oh, great.
Cheers.
So just knock them together. Chink. No, mine's as big as yours. It's just as big.
Really? You just said that?
We might need to cut that. We might need to cut that bit out.
Yeah. That's Tuesday Pants for the 25th of...
Tuesday Pants?
Tuesday Pants. Tuesday Chew. 25th of June. See you next week. And it's goodbye from him.
And it's definitely goodbye from him.
Bye-bye.